Okay, today I show you the procedure how I developed or modified a canopy for the AMPHORA steamboat to protect me from sun and sometimes small rain showers, but it's more a protection against sun. The canopy is one which is normally used for speedboats or for bigger boats, and it consists of tubing here made of aluminium and black shade, fabric on top as a shade. But if you look, of course, this is not very stylish if one uses aluminium tubes. So what I'm doing now, I replace the main parts of these canopy, at least the ones which sticks to the boat, to the deck of the boat, by brass ones. So I bought tubes made of strong brass, and also a lot of various connecting parts, all made of casted bronze. They are really difficult to get. I had to wait a couple of months to get them, and they are produced in Italy and distributed by a small company in the UK. You have here the end parts of a tube. You have the ones which are connected to the deck, and you have these ones here which are hinges on the tubing there, and you can fix them with a screw directly to the big tube here. What I'm using is still, I cut off the top of this canopy aluminium part, because I want to use them, and I show you here, to connect them directly to the brass tubing going to the bottom. So I just kept the bent ones, the bent tubes, which are, I cannot make them made them from brass. So I use these aluminium bent parts, and going then to the roof here, and in this direction to the bottom, so to the surface of the boat. And I turned on my latte adapters made of brass to connect on one side these aluminium tube to the straight tubes on the in this direction. These are various parts which will be soldered together with Stannum, so thin, we say in German, and this is something which is used also for pots to protect copper from acids. And I use this paste here with a brush to solder by the end with heat the various parts together. And from the distance you can see this is quite some work to do, but I'm confident that it will work out fine. Okay, now I show you how I solder these things together. This is the cap, this is the tube. First of all, I get rid of oxygen in the oxygen surface of the metal to get a better soldering. So I have a drill here with some sandpaper on top, and go inside to get rid of the oxygen the metal oxide here in the inner part. So you see this gun. On the other side, some sandpaper and scratch the surface also to get rid of the metal oxide. Now I take a bit of the paste. This is Stannum paste. So I cover the surface. These are colloid of Stannum. Then you take also, you paint a bit on the inside here. Not too much, because it will otherwise come out and you have then to polish too much away. Here we have inside and a bit of outside. So, and now the most important part is you heat it up. This is a flame, a gas flame. You start to heat up. The first part which is coming out is just the water, but later on it will convert to metal tano, and then you solder these two pieces together, finally doing it like this. You see here in the hole that it turns to silver color. That means it melts now. And I give it really a long heating so that it really melts up, and then stick these two pieces together. I think it's enough. So the rest here will be polished away. Go now to cool the thing under water. I do it carefully, so getting closer to the end. Not too rapidly, otherwise the metal connection is not perfect. So now this is fine. So now I'm going to polish it, and to get rid of these oxygen and the rest of this stannum on both sides, and I polish it here on a spin loop. So here is the first part finished. The different pieces of made of brass and bronze. They're soft soldered together, and you see here the details. These are the top parts. They had been cut off from the aluminium canopy, and here they sticked into these adapters made of brass, and they will be finally glued together with two-component glue, which is based on also metal, and this then they finally will hold in the position, but this part will happen later. Now I start with the second construction. Here you see already the pieces, and here the parts which then finally soldered to them. By the way, these are the hinges which are finally screwed on the board of AMPHORA to keep the construction in position. But this is the final part. Okay, now I finished the metal construction here. They are all glued together with a two-component glue and also fixed with a rivet. And these are the parts now, all linked to each other, soft soldered. And I'm going now to start to cover them with color, to paint them with airbrush. I use for this purpose very hard paint, which I use to paint also the boat. It will be black to have a nice finish fitting to the color of the roof and of the fabric of the roof, and this will be done in the next step. So in order to paint the aluminium pieces and the brass construction, I used the following colors. This is a wash primer which is used to cover the fresh brushed aluminium. And after the priming here, you apply epoxy, high build epoxy coat, which is incredibly resistant to chemicals, water, and so on. And finally, I use polyurethane, two compound color or paint. This is for boats, specially made for boats, and in my eyes is the best one which I ever used in my life. AMPHORA is a company coming from the Netherlands. And how does it look like? Here you see the different pieces. They are fixed so that they don't touch each other when I paint them. So they have still the masking here with tape, and this is how it looks like after the first paint or final paint with polyurethane. And tomorrow I will disassemble it, and then I show you the final result. Okay, now it is the first assembling of the tarp, the cover of the canopy to the new brass construction, and I think it's looks quite nice. This is the old piece made of aluminium, which had been replaced now with this tubing of made of brass in all the links Here, these hinges, they are all made of brass. There's one thing missing now, and this is the next thing I will construct, is this tube going straight away down to the boat finally. So the last one here, I have to measure the size and then to build a new support, also made of brass of course, and this will be then also finally fixed on the boat with this type of connection with 2 screws. So the same will be then placed here with a straight tube going down. So let's have a look again on the whole construction, and then we go to the next step. So here we are, the final support, and the back here is also soldered together and installed, and it is in right angle to the bottom of the boat. The distance should be optimal to install it then on the boat. This is how it looks like. And now we go to the boat and fix it on board. So the canopy is installed. It is fixed on the boat. It covers the area of the seat really nicely. So it's a perfect sunshade. It's screwed on the top here. For the open position. This is a halfway closed canopy. So this is the side view, it's a closed canopy. So the canopy has also a zip bag which can be used to fully protect the folded canopy, and now it is ready to go on the lake.